What's going on, everybody? It's a beautiful Sunday. Not really. I'm in Jersey visiting family for a couple months. For those of you that might probably don't know, obviously, because I'm only at like 35 subscribers right now. Got to get those numbers up. I live in Chicago, and just travel a lot to visit family in Jersey. I'm originally from New Jersey. Got myself a New Jersey tattoo there to kind of show off my Jersey pride. So the weather's kind of crap. Almost got blinded by lightning just now. I don't know if that got caught in the camera, but yeah, it's there's a thunderstorm warning. Just want to this is my second official video with talk with Bovin, which will end up becoming walk-in talks at some point. And we kind of want to discuss, last time we discussed AI and how that might upend the economy. That kind of got me thinking and kind of reviewing a lot of the data that's coming out now with early warnings of a recession. Recession. We've been talking about recessions since like 2022, 2023. Last time we hit a recession like that, I called the pseudo recession, which is kind of triggered by the shutdown during the pandemic. Definitely was a dip, big dip in economic activity real fast. But we kind of bounced back from that a lot quicker than we did from, like, for example, 2008, which was more detrimental. But yeah, a lot of experts now are pointing at early warning signs for recession coming our way. We're entering another war. I don't know how that's going to play a part in all this. We'll see, but we might see more folks go towards military service if the job market is that bad. And obviously if we do enter this war, I don't agree with war. I'm a vet. I think we shouldn't enter this war. I don't know. I understand Israel's our friend, but like, come on, man. We're holding their hand the whole way. And, I'm also a firm believer in the Palestinians have rights as well. So, all the stuff going on there, separate discussion, but that might factor in when it comes to recession talks. So a lot of indicators here. The four main ones that I want to talk about, and sorry, I have memory issues sometimes, so like I have to write things down. Sometimes I just like blabber on, so don't mind me. One is the unemployment rate, which I discussed kind of in my last video, how the 4.2% statistics that came out in May don't really sound that. I feel like this is gaslighting, man. Like, now there's discussions of 4.2% being like what they came up with. I don't know how they come up with this number, but the reality being 42% if you factor in underemployment and other factors as well. That I guess when they do these statistics, they don't put those they don't implement those factors in. So there are other things involved that we could look at, but according to data online, at least the U6 statistics show that marginally attached underemployment included is about 7 to 8%. So let's just say that, like, we'll be modest and say 7%. That's the real unemployment rate that we're looking at. Unemployment is insurance, which is, your unemployment benefits there's an article that came out a couple of days ago that said that, it's, this week has been good. We actually had a dip. But I mean, when you look at the trajectory, it is rising, and the leading economic index is pointing to a recession based off of that as well. So unemployment's rising, factor number one, right? Which I know we don't really determine when it comes to recessions. It's secondary to GDP, but they are hand in hand, right? We can't have productivity if people are not working. So the second factor is credit and debt. Credit's been rising. Credit debt has been rising in America, and especially among the youth now with buy now, pay later services. It's like 1.2 trillion was the credit debt by late 2024, which has been heavily on the rise since 2021. Contrary to popular belief, people are not living off their stimulus checks. So all the folks that are saying that, Johnny's $1,400 stimulus check is the reason why he doesn't want to work or can't find work or whatever the hell. Okay. Q1 2025 delinquency rates 12.1% across all borrowers. It's pretty high number there. 12.1% is pretty high. I mean, it's not like, you know, super high where if we start hitting 20-30%, I think they'll start worrying a little bit more. But then again, you know, I don't know about these numbers sometimes, man. But I'm just basing this off of what I see with data that's available to us, and online. And 55% of Americans are using buy now, pay later services right now. That's high, man. That's over half, right? A little over half. So that's not good. Consumer spending, it's been a interesting one because consumer spending seems to have been coming up as strong. That, you know, we are, like I mentioned at the AI video, we are a consumer-based economy. So consumer spending is one of our a big factor when it comes to determining if we're in a recession or not. But inflation is still a concern, and then there's obviously stagflation warnings, right? When you have high unemployment, you have with high unemployment and high inflation, so prices are high, unemployment's high. You know, these are a recipe for disaster, which we start to determine as a stagflation, right? So that's a leading indicator as well. We have to keep an eye on that. Right now, consumer spending wouldn't really be the top indicator of a recession because, like, again, I don't know how true these stats are, but consumer spending is still pretty strong. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say, all right, sure, like, it's summer. Americans are spending money, they're going out, they're doing things, even as crappy as things can be for a lot of them. You got to enjoy your life, man, right? So spending is spending. It is what it is. Amazon's packages are still being delivered like crazy. And then, yeah, the last factor is really just the housing prices that we're starting to see drop now. A lot of people were sitting on 2.53%, 3.5% interest rates when they refinanced or bought their properties in 2020 to 2021. I was in the same boat. I bought a house in 2019, and then I refinanced in 2021, I believe it was, when the rates had dropped. So, you know, I'm selling that property now, and you know, knock on wood, things are going good. Not trying to sell at some crazy price. I know for a fact as a seller right now that it's not 2020 to 2022 anymore, right? We need to kind of be a little realistic, and like with our prices. So people are worried about the economy. They're not looking to spend, you know, like in New Jersey, like $600,000 for like a 2-3 bedroom home, ranch house or something like that. They don't even want to spend that, and that's the prices that I'm seeing a lot of these properties at right now. So they're gonna sit there for a while unless sellers kind of like you know, get their head out of there when it comes to the prices and stuff. But that is an indicator, right? The prices are falling, building permits are declining. Tariffs are a real concern with that too, of course. Tariffs hit our lumber and everything. The materials we use for building get expensive, and then builders have to increase prices. Builders increase prices, people don't want to pay these crazy prices, so building stalls. It's kind of sad because, like, after the 2008 recession, they had stopped building homes, so that's why we talk about this whole, like, we have a housing shortage issue. Now, you know, we're seeing some of the houses that are on the market, like, you know, that are already built and being sold. There's supposedly more sellers than buyers, but you know, there's still a housing shortage, I guess. So I don't know how that's going to look in the future. Our birth rates are declining naturally, right? People just aren't having enough kids, so maybe we won't need much housing like in the future. That might not be my future. I'll probably be long gone by then, but let's say like 2100, like the year 2100, right, as an example. So maybe things were kind of like, you know, even out by then. But right now things are kind of rough. So yeah, that's another indicator as well. Any others I could think of? I mean, personally, I've been cutting back, right? I don't know, consumer spending is still strong, but as a consumer myself, you know, when things were good, yeah, I'd probably have like 2 or 3 Amazon packages come in a week. You know, I fall into that thing. Now I think the last 2 weeks I might have ordered one thing that I actually just needed, right? Same with the wife. as well. I mean, she's much better than with the spending than I am. You know, she's great with it. Get yourself a woman that knows how to, like, keep tabs on the budget. But yeah, just kind of keep an eye out for these kind of things, and for people, I don't know. I'm 35. If you're older than me, please, like, if you're older, hopefully older also equates to wiser. Please give the youth some knowledge here in the comments if you'd like. Talk to young people out there. Just talk to them, man. Like, young people want to socialize, right? Just talk to them. Be like, hey, how's it looking? How are you doing? And then give them some pointers. And from my angle, it's just, it's basically what a lot of the YouTubers are talking about right now. I just watched Large Man Abroad's recent video. Again, shout out to him. He kind of inspired me to kind of, do these kind of videos, and I would hope to kind of work with someone like that one day. But it's just watch your spending, budget. I don't do anything crazy. I don't have any apps for this kind of stuff, but anytime I spend money, I just put it into my phone, like the memo pad, and I have like a limit. Like, all right, this week I'm gonna spend this much, so I stay below the limit. If I go over the limit, I like tally it up, I make it red, and then that means the next month I need to do a little bit better, right? So just the stuff like that. Look at, like, he had mentioned this in a lot of videos. Other YouTubers have mentioned this in a lot of videos, and actually in my blogs I wrote about this as well. The subscription economy. So guaranteed that you have subscriptions that you're not even utilizing properly, and there's probably not even needed. You can find other ways to kind of do this legally, right? Legally. So yeah, just look at your subscriptions, man. I have a couple, right? I have like the YouTube one without the ads, for example. I'm like, I watch YouTube for my peace of mind. I don't really listen to music that much anymore. I do when I work out, right? But when I'm on long drives, or if I'm out walking, taking the train, what have you, I'm just listening to like podcasts, maybe even audiobooks that are uploaded on there, and videos like of people like Large Man Abroad and other YouTubers that discuss these kind of issues, right? So just being informed. I feel like that's the only thing we have is knowledge. Knowledge is important. Knowledge is the only thing we have at the end of the day. It's and we have family and all that stuff, but internally, right, knowledge is key. So being informed what's going on in the world is important. Being informed of making sure, like, keep an eye on things before things happen. Like, like, oh shit, this is gonna happen. Maybe I should move things around, my money, what have you. You need to kind of be aware. So yeah, just that's another thing to discuss as well. Like subscriptions, right? Take off a lot of your subscriptions that you don't need. Review them. And keep your knowledge base up. So like I mentioned, so those are 3 things there I could think about. And then obviously the other things too, right? Like, cook at home, don't eat out. It's not even worth eating out anymore. This food is not that good anymore. I mean, I don't know if they've pulled out like bad ingredients, that's why it doesn't taste that good anymore, which is great. But then it's like, I'm not paying $20 for a Whopper, like that. Maybe won't give me cancer this time, but whatever. Just cook your own food, man. It's much cheaper, it's better. And look over all your reoccurring bills, see where you can kind of adjust those. Like, as a veteran, we're kind of a little bit privileged in this country. There's a lot of good veterans benefits for us. Property tax exemptions, things like that we would pay for, like permits and stuff that are free. There's all these kind of things. But even for regular folks, like, there's a lot of incentives out there. So look at that as well. And I don't know. There's so many different ways you can go about it, right? So many different things we can discuss. But I don't want to go too far into the weeds here with this stuff. So recession is pretty much like 55 to 60% guaranteed at some point between now to maybe mid to end of 2026. Might be like in the middle of that. So we got to keep an eye on that and start preparing for it now. I'm not saying it's a doomsday event type of thing, but start all these things I mentioned. Start hammering down your budget. Start doing this now because might need that help later. Thank you guys Like and subscribe, please. If you like, if you don't, you know, I just love talking to you guys. So, and yeah, see you in the next video.